if I can get the YouTube thing going here. There we go. Coming to give my live stream fix since Coach canceled. Can you hear me all right, Liam? My right mic isn't showing up. I'm trying to figure out why. It's not this one, or is it? Yeah, it's the other one. I don't like this mic. It's too far away. I think the other one sounds better. Great question, Onyx. He didn't do a live stream this week, and he has said nothing to me about what he thinks. So he's had a full use of it. So I assumed he kind of made it seem like he was going to do the showcase on the live stream, but as I said, he didn't do it. So, but the only thing he did say to me is, because I had asked him, because he gets a percentage of the digital books and the subscriptions, because I'd reached out to him saying, hey, when do you want to set that up? I got at the end of the month we got to tally up, or saddle up, whatever. Excuse me. So the only thing he did see reach out to me is, oh, so you need to set the bank account or something. But that's it. That's all I got. He might have been saving it for dramatic effect. I need to find a way to figure out how to get this working. I bought this nice mic because I like it. Is it this one? Oh, it's this one. Okay. Hold on. Can you hear me? Oh, I can't tell. Audio input capture, mic aux capture. I don't know which one it is. Which one sounds better? Does this one sound better? Or does this one sound better? One or two? Like with the optometrist. It doesn't actually say which one's which. It just says one is audio input capture and the other one's a mic aux. And I don't know which one is the microphone and which one's the webcam. Fair enough. I mean, if they both work, I might as well not even waste my time using my mic. How did things go with Mirrorscape? So I'll say this: the things with Mirrorscape went awesome. They said that one of the first things they said is that the website looked absolutely beautiful. That was like one of the first things they said, and they basically were just saying they just asked me some API questions, which obviously the ultimate goal is you'd probably have to you wouldn't. I don't think we'd be able to connect it in such a way where you go to the website and then you play through that. What would be more happening is you download Mirrorscape, whether it's off Steam or the iOS store, or the Apple store, the Google store, and then you'd be able to connect your account to Mirrorscape, and it would pull your character sheet data. And they saw my DM screen and they're like, oh yeah, we definitely need to be able to do that. So there'd be ways for you to access your data, your content, and everything like that, right from the Mirrorscape, whether you're using a tablet to look through or using VR AR goggles to look through. They that's how it would work. Um, but they loved it. I think they've got a really cool software. I'm just trying to be a little bit different, even if it's not like everyone's go to. Like they do have 2D options, is what they've told me. So I'm like, because I told them like, when it comes down to it, I want versatility with whoever I'm trying to work with. I want for those people who just want to upload a 2D map because they've got a crap ton of them. They can just do that and then plop in their 3D minis. You can connect your Hero Forge to it, so you can download your 3D minis from Hero Forge right onto it, and drop those in. Or even if you're lazy but you want to use the 3D maps, like they have a big map collection, and the more popular it gets, the more maps that are going to be available. Um, but it is really cool. I'm super excited about it. I've been in there playing with it a little bit this week. I've been kind of stuck with one stupid feature that I just can't get to. I'm not even kidding you. It looks, when I look at my code and I look exactly how all these other things are displaying, and it's the same thing, it's just a different feature, and yet it won't show up. And I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's innate power. The ability to choose your spell focus property as a sorcerer. I've been working on it for 2 days, and I'm fucking burnt out by it. I just want to move on to something else. Talk to people at Arkin Forge. Yeah, yeah. You'd mentioned it. If you have a way to connect me with them, because I have to look them up. I hadn't gotten around to it. I saw your message about them though. Importing DC20 monster stat blocks. The main dev said he would be open to it when he asked. Yeah, yeah, I'd be happy to. There's ways to there's a way to work with other creators. Absolutely, the ultimate name of the game DC20 Forge is to make it as simple and easy for um, people to play as much as possible. That's the ultimate goal, because um, that's why we're all here, right? But here's the funny thing, and so we might be able to do for Onyx and Liam, um, for our Dragon Forge idea. They when they originally asked me, they're like, "Oh, send me a map and we'll 3D render it." So I sent them the one of my arena, and he's gonna build it in Hero in Mirror Forge. So if you got some Hero Forge 3D mini downloads that you can send me, we might be able to. Honestly, they've got a bunch of random ones in there, so you don't actually have to make any. I've got one for every class. So, but we can, if we can do our 3D. Excuse me. We can do our 3D Mirror Forge one shot live stream. Well, maybe not live stream, but record record how it all looks, how it all plays. Because I'd be weird to do live stream until I until I see how well I can kind of put things together. But we could do our one of our one shots in there and do our battle arena in there, which I think would be super fun. But I'm gonna note that right now, Liam. I'm gonna put that. Where's my notepad? Notepad. Talk to Arkin Forge. And you know what, Liam? This is exactly why I have not even like done the patch note thing yet. Is because I refuse to move on to something else until I fix the innate property. That's why nothing else has gotten done. Is literally because of that. I took a break from it to upload to get the dice roller set in place, and then I went right back to working on it. I had it mostly done. Um, but then some weird error was, and so I scrubbed it and tried to start over. Um, it's just been a pain in my ass. I'm interested to see how it works, because like I've obviously played with it in respect to like building the maps and just moving minis around and stuff like that. So I haven't gotten a chance to do a gameplay version of it yet, but they have a dice roll in that they have, but like it just depends on where you're doing stuff as far as I'm concerned. Like I figure we'll have right now nothing's connected, but my 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 guess is when we run that one shot, like we'll have one screen on like we probably each need two screens. One is going to have your Mirror Forge up, and the other is going to have what you can do on your phone too. Um, your character sheet up, which either or, vice versa. You can put your Mirror Forge on your computer, your character sheet on your phone, whichever works. What's exactly wrong with innate power? Here's what's wrong. I don't know if I can show you. No, I can't because it just doesn't come up because it just doesn't show. But what's supposed to what is done is when you are in character creator in step 2, when you choose your class, if you choose sorcerer or you get innate power, I hesitate to say that because I haven't tested it via multi-class. But what happens is when you choose innate power, one of the things you choose is a spell focus. So you basically get a spell focus, 1 point spell focus for free. So that's done. That is made. That is working. That saves. But when you go to the character sheet, just like how configure packed weapon works with the warlock, if you should be able to go to the class features and innate power and be able to click a button that will then open the spell focus properties, and then you can choose one on a long rest. So that's what you should be able to choose. And then also, like, this is what I had working. I had it working, I had it saving, I had it recalling, I had it showing up in both spell models so that when you go to cast a spell, you can see the spell focus that you default have. But there was this double layer of buttons just appearing, and it was showing up for God knows what reason, and I could not figure out how to get rid of the second button, so it just looked like 3 buttons were sitting on it, and one of them subtracted NP when you clicked it. One was just the wild magic table, so but it was showing up on both magic innate power and greater innate power, and it should only be showing on innate power. Not that it really matters if it's on both. It's just more of a preference. But I couldn't figure out how to get rid of that little button, so I had to basically restart from where it was saving and trying to get it to re-render. And again, the button's just not showing up. It's not showing up in the innate power card. I cannot figure out why. So running a campaign on the site, there's no real way to have players play on the site interacting on a map. The site just lets you have a campaign info there, players, character sheets, and GM screen. So I don't know if you're talking about Mirror Forge or DC20 Mirror Escape or DC20 Forge, but a DC20 Forge right now, yes. So the only things that like there's interaction in the sense that if you were just theater of the minding it, you would be able to open up your character sheet and right now it's built for in-person games. That's the biggest issue is that it's built for in-person games. You could still use it when you're online, but there's obviously no way to put minis on a map and see anything like that. So the reason I'm working with Mirror Forge is because I'm trying to move towards that feature, because a lot more people are playing online now, especially DC20 people, because I mean, it's hard enough finding D&D people in your neighborhood, let alone find someone who's DC20. But Mirror Forge is going to be that virtual that VTT essentially. And if you haven't heard of it, again, what they do is you open up their app, they have like the Dwarven Forge minis, and so everything's 3D, and so you can kind of go in and play 3D with DC20. Well, you'll be able to go 3D in DC20. Now, right now, you could go just play on Mirror Forge and run DC20 at the same time, but the idea behind it is it's going to pull your character sheet data into the Mirror Forge so that you're just on one screen. You don't have to have your character sheet on one screen and your Mirror Forge open on another. So you'll be in there, you'll be able to completely interact with it. There's some cool aspects to that because sure you can just leave it on your tablet or computer and just play just like that. Um, if you want, you can also play in augmented reality, meaning if you can click a button and highlight your table in front of you, and it will put that map that the DM has loaded up on your actual physical table, and it'll be looking at it like you're looking at your own table. The last kind of piece to it is that you can go into your mini's point of view and you can play from your mini's point of view. Um, to the point that if you have like AR goggles when it's loaded up and you're in that live, you can literally walk and it'll move you around the map. There's other ways to move around the map, but that is something you could do. So that it just seems like one of those future tools that I think will be really popular and will be the first tool, like first game system that is integrated. Um, that was the other thing is they're like, oh, if this really works well, would you make other resources for others like Pathfinder and D&D and other stuff? Like would I basically create a web page where they can extract the character sheets from and rule sources from in order to do it? And I was like, I'm not even done with this one. But if you know, someone asked me earlier today, I was like, if I were to, what would I do if this kicks off? Like that's what I would do. Is I would spend my days, making sure DC20 Forge was working right. I would write content. You know, I would make other tools for them, especially if they're paying me to do it. But that's fun, you know. um, what's what's the issue is fix what's next on the docket. What's the issue is fix what's next on the docket. I don't know if I'm reading that right. If you're meaning what's my issue list for things I want to fix. Um, so issue list. I kind of have a sticky note, not here, but so once I get the innate power, so here's the in order of operations. Get the innate power button showing up on the innate power card in the class feature list. Once that's done, making sure that when you choose one from there, it saves into the character creator and vice versa. So no matter where you choose it, it's always updating. Two, update greater innate power because greater innate power gives you a second point to spend. So it's just when you have it, you get a second point to spend. Make sure both of those are working back and forth. Uh, Three, making sure the spell properties you chose that do impact the character sheet, like warded, gives you MDR. Um, one of the other spell focus properties gives you an AD. So if that's chosen, it should increase your AD. It should add the resistance. That's number three. Number four, make sure the spell focus properties are showing up in your spells in both models, whether you're choosing it from the actions menu or choosing it from the spell use model. Um, those two. What I noticed after that, excuse me, is the spells that are being used in the attack or the spell model aren't necessarily showing ranges and duration. So fixing that, and maybe it's the attack with the spell. I know it didn't come up with like the spell blade when you get to choose when you do spell strike and choose a spell. It didn't show range or duration or anything like, or even the description for that matter. It just showed enhancements. So I just got to update those to make sure the full spell description is showing up in those. There was when you get on Death's Door, you're supposed to get a level of exhaustion. So making sure that when you get to Death's Door, an exhaustion appears on the conditions. Those were the top things that I needed to get done. But on the side, those are a lot of little fixes that I'm hoping to like kind of breeze through. But I have the outline for the campaign. No, not campaign. For the world builder. So We obviously have a campaign builder, but there's no world builder. So if you're someone who wants to be able to reference your own material, reference your own um, world, or need a place, so that have outlines, so someone can easily build that with all the guides and everything like that, and then be able to connect like a search model widget to the campaign, so to the DM screen. So you can basically search for your world for information that you need right on your fingertips, right from the DM screen, without having to leave the DM screen. Um, and there's a few things I just need to tweak on the DM screen. I still think I need to address that damage thing that you mentioned. There's just been a couple little notes about how to make the widgets a little bit better. The drag and drop feature is a little sketchy. Um, yeah, that's what's on the docket there. Classes and talents and subclasses. I need to update the custom builders in a way that if you choose to modify PD, AD, HP, kind of like the action point thing with the orc ancestry that gets like an extra action. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it gets an extra action when they're on death's door. If the character sheet's modified in any way, just making sure that when you make custom stuff, it does. So that's another big one. Um, yeah, I think that's my pretty immediate list. There's always more stuff. Let's see. So I could wear my VR headset and play on the map. Yes, that is that is in a nutshell what Mirrorscape is. And I know they're really planning on cracking into some of the new glasses coming out. So to make it even easier and even more easily streamlined. But wouldn't you, in the sense, need to be playing with everyone using VR, or could it be a mix? Absolutely, can be a mix. Basically, you open your own VR and you log into your own account, and you get invited to the game via the DM. But however you're using it, you get to use it from your point of view. So one person could be using just having it on their tablet or phone or their computer, and just be looking at the screen, like zooming in, moving around, whatever. Um, that is one way, and then the person, other side of the states, could be wearing the VR headset and interacting that way, and another person could put it in VR mode on their tablet and basically like move around the table, zooming in with their camera or whatever, um, on the map, and doing it that way. So not everyone has to be on it. So it's the base, the base side, where, like, again, they say they do have 2D functionality, because I told them, I'm like, I just want to be able to, like, there's gonna be people who are gonna be using this software and just are gonna want something stupid simple, or to upload a map. What is that? Oh. And then you gotta have the other people who are, they go in and make the maps. I want that range. I want the range. When you go in to check on my monster thread, I saw it. I saw the thread. I remember reading through the thread. I don't remember anything off the top of my head about the thread. Let me see. Pull it up right now. Playtest threads, monster stuff. Let's see. Okay, so monster stat table. So have default monster status based on the monster level of that. So here's some things about that. It's built into the custom builder. So basically, with the custom builder, if you change levels, it automatically changes the default based on the monster stats table. Um, yeah, that's already there. Yeah, that's already there. Yeah, if you go into the custom builder and you change level, even if you click on it should be this how it worked last I saw it, but if you click on a monster to copy, and if you change that level, it'll change the stats. Or at least it should. I saw it do it. Once I see it, here's my problem, Liam. This is really bad of me. This is my biggest weakness. When I see it work, I move on. I don't sit there and thoroughly test it out, and that's part. This is it's part of why I need you. You complete me, because when I see it work once, I just move on to the next thing on my list. Uh, Instead of having resistance immunity section, just have resistance section. See, now you're going back and forth on me because you said add immunities, but I already had resistances. Or no, I think it was vulnerabilities. I take that back. That's my bad. Have a drop down list for environments, skills, resistances. Yeah, the drop down list would be great. I think that's a good upgrade. Yeah, the autofill heavy rules. Yeah, yeah. There's so much to get done. Because the monster stuff is like the custom monster building stuff is a little bit more niche, and I'm not, and I know you just probably want to hit the ground running on making a bunch of monsters. It's just I'm trying to focus on the stuff that people are gonna, and like the most people are gonna interact with, and the most people that are gonna interact with is the players and the character sheet. So I'm just trying to make sure the character sheet is just where it needs to be, um, and then I think once I've done that and then gone to and added those that kind of, and then I'm moving into the, I'll build world builder, and then I'll getting to fine tuning the class subclass, making sure those auto select, and then I'll probably get into the monster stuff after that. Um, maybe I'll put the monster stuff in front of the class and subclass stuff. I think that's probably a better idea, just because the class features stuff, I think people might be touchy to play with until like full classes are out, which makes sense to me. It was just something that it was mentioned is all, and so but I do think the monster stuff should take priority. So I'll probably focus on the most important stuff, and then like work my way down this. In reference to everything you said about Mirror Escape, that is freaking sick. Yes, yes it is. Um, they were there when I was thinking about VTTs. There were two. I know Onyx said he could like code one for me like wicked fast, but I didn't want to just have another. I mean, if this didn't work out, I would do that, but I didn't want to just have just another generic place to play. Like I was trying to plan to like what's just going to add the most value, and the fact is that I'm the they're looking for people who've made stuff like what I've made, where they can basically pull from the data, pull from the built-in character sheets, pull from the rules, and because they have the visual software, but they don't have the integration to run a full character. So they've been looking for that, and we're saying that there's a lot of crap out there, which totally makes sense. Because like they're not going to be able to work with D&D Beyond, because D&D Beyond made their own virtual tabletop. Why would they outsource to Mirrorscape? They want people playing on theirs. So I probably won't make, like, that's the thing, is like what I can do in the future is I can make separate pages for like a character sheet for D&D, a character sheet for Pathfinder, and stuff like that, and then I can essentially just pull access from the DM screen, the campaign builder, because like those aren't system specific. So those pages can be accessed from any system. I just need to make separate system pages, which is what they were asking me to do, because they want me to make separate system pages. And to them, I was like, look, if this takes off and I can do this and just this for the rest of my life, I'm happy to help you out for a paycheck. Because ultimately, even if it's just even if it brings me other income, other users too, that can only benefit me as well. So from that standpoint, I mean, I'm never going to be D&D Beyond, but and Mirrorscape users who can't use their D&D Beyond account with Mirrorscape will be looking for another source, which is what DC20 Forge can be. Ways to make magic items inert. Interacts with artificer class feature. There is a way to make them mundane. When you transpose a property, it does make the item mundane, and it does make a new magic item which gets added to your magic items page, because why not? But if you're talking about when they use a feature, I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but when they use the feature that uses charges instead of mana, I think what you're referring to, it should make them mundane until a short or long rest or whatever it is. I'll have to check back on that one. Throw that in the character sheet bugs for me to just double check on, or check it first and then throw it in. Personally, I'm a fan of Foundry VTT right now. Sure, yeah. I mean, I've checked it out. It seems like it's really cool functionality, and I totally get it. I don't have the ability to do in-person campaigns. I was trying to find a way to use DC20 Forge to run my upcoming campaign, but I need a VTT. Yeah, I get that. And you know what you can do is, and I'm not trying to talk you into anything, but no, what you can do is you can easily have the character sheets, or sorry, you can easily use the campaign page. Is what I was trying to say, and if you're able to record those sessions virtually, if you're able to just record that audio, there should be a way to do it. But if you're able to record that, you can use the transcriber. You can, if you haven't played with it yet, highly recommend checking out my new and improved storyboard, because that is my personal creative baby. I don't know what else to call it. That was my personal creation. That was like there was some inspiration from Runehammer, a little bit, but the questions, the concepts that went into that to really help bring brainstorming to the next level, because sometimes you can just be sitting there thinking like okay, I'm just gonna throw shit at the wall, see what sticks. But when I sit down, those are the questions I ask myself, and it has always just made my campaigns and my games so much better. Like it's made them intriguing. It's made and I'm using politics in the biggest definition and the broadest definition of the word, because anytime you have to choose between two to three different factions or people or NPCs or whatever, that I consider all of that politics, and I think it just brings depth and meaning to every one of those things. Not that everything in your game should have meaning. Like sometimes you got to throw out red herrings. Sometimes you got to throw out just stuff for fun and flavor. But for the there's just a ton of momentum in my games. Like and that's like the word I use. Pressure. Those are the two words I use: pressure and momentum. And if you've got pressure, throw some momentum. If you've got momentum, add some pressure. but the storyboard gets a lot more in depth into it, and I think that's such a great tool. I think that just as a bare minimum, the campaign page could be a great resource for you and your party to use, just in the sense of being able to track information and being able to go back and look back and stuff like that. No reason you can't use both at the same time. Just saying. I mean, obviously, if you're playing in game, you want to play with those characters, but you can easily have that like open up on the side screen with all the notes from all your old sessions. still say the people playing on D&D Beyond's VTT. That's I heard it was bad. I'm not saying it was good. I'm just saying that that's what they've invested all this money in it. They want people to play on that. They're not going to try to outsource to Mirrorscape. Still, I love the site, especially for character building. However, it's still limiting for building characters, I feel. But I get it's probably like, yeah, it's. I know I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Working on it. Working on it. I do, like. There's obviously the variant rules out there that I need to, fix or bring into the game. There's a lot of ideas up here. It just takes them a little bit of time. Have a widget on the DM screen where you can draw from a deck of cards. Ooh, yeah. It'll be useful where DC20 makes their version of the deck of many things, or I homebrew one. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, there's a couple decks that I would really love to see. So actually, I have a variant on one, and this is for trademarking purposes. But the Oracle, the if you've ever played with the GM emulator, um, mystical mythic GM emulator, um, which is a great way to, like, if you don't want to play with a DM or you are playing by yourself. The Mythic GM emulator is a really great way to kind of act as a GM. And so the Oracle on the DM screen is essentially the Mythic GM emulator. It's changed a little bit for trademarking purposes, but functions the same way. And but yeah, no, the another deck that I really think would be cool in there is the Runehammer deck. If you ever heard of Runehammer, they've got a deck that's used for um, sometimes they just pull and see what comes up for events and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I want to talk to him about getting permission to use it if I can, and then yeah, a regular deck of cards works too. Just have a few decks, but I love the idea. Love the idea. Oh well, time flies. Time flies when you're having fun or talking too much. Waiting for you in the stream. Oh, just saw your message, Liam. I got it at like 9:24, so I don't know when you sent that, but I was like trying to get it set up. I was trying to get the mic working, but I guess I didn't need to since it doesn't really matter which one I'm using. What's your upcoming campaign about, Wandering Wookie? And have you gotten a chance to check out the storyboard? I'm just curious. The DM screen on the site is amazing. Thank you. I'm not even kidding. I was just I think I was just talking to Liam one day, and the idea just popped in my head, and I was like, I have a great idea. Because at the time, the site was just the character sheet, the obviously the regular pages, and the campaign page, and I was like, in my head, I imagined so much more on the site than like these two things, one for DMs and one for players, and then like I don't know if it was just something Liam said or if I was just thinking out loud, but I was like, why don't I just make like I think I was thinking about making a DM screen for DC20 because I have a pad I have a have you seen Party Chill or something? I think that's what they're called, Party Chill. They've got a mat, like a keyboard mat, not a keyboard mat, like a mouse mat. A keyboard mat's probably better. And it's got all the D&D rules on it. So I made my own one for DC20, which needs to be updated. But that's what I was like thinking of when I was like, I should just make one for the website. Perfect. I know that's the other thing I need to fix, Liam. As I just noticed that for some reason, like in the rules button and the top of the character sheet, it's not showing the core rules. It's only showing poisons. I'm like, what? When did that happen? So another thing I need to fix. Thoughts on being able to import DC20 Forge characters into your... He's way fucking ahead of you. Can I not swear on here? I think it. I think I did 18 plus. He's way ahead of you on that, Liam. He's already said, yeah, he is going to be using DC20 Forge character sheets in his DC20 game. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but he asked me that. I don't know if I was supposed to say that. He didn't say anything to me. I'm not saying anything, but yeah, that was. He doesn't seem like the type who would hide that feature anyway, but. He was like, I just need to be able to pull the character sheets. I'm like, please, please do. I'd be happy to have you just pull character sheets. Another thing on my to-do list, Liam, pictures, icons for, shit. I think that, like, I'll end up, like I said, I think I mentioned to you, I'll wait till he has his art out, because I'll use, like, that art in a lot of places. Like on the um, character creator and stuff like that, or in the classes page, the ancestries page. But definitely, I want to try to find. I need to get on icons for the character sheets and stuff. What did you think? I don't know if it was new. No, it was. I think it was Oz. No, it was Kaibo. Kaibo. He was the one who said he wanted to see more. Kaibo was the one who said he wanted to see more, like, stuff in the character creator for rules and stuff. Um, so have you gotten a chance to check that out yet? Have you seen how, like, the new way to kind of, like, pick classes, like the skills guide, the attributes guide? Does that all look like really good, user friendly for new players and stuff? Has anyone seen that yet? I feel like I got no reaction when I released that update. I am on the site now and clicked on the attribute guide, and it's great. Thank you. I was aiming for, like, something, stuff that are simple, sweet, to just for new players. Kaiba had a really good point. He's like, I don't want to have to look up rules or I don't want to have to leave the character sheet to look up rules. If I can't understand it, I need to be able to click on it. And I was like, I absolutely agree. I don't know how I missed that the first walkthrough. But it takes a village. I honestly, it's not. I've had some great ideas, and I'll take credit for the ones I've gotten, but I have to give credit to Liam, especially because he's play tested a lot. He's had a lot of ideas, but a lot of people have had, like, there's been a lot of really great ideas out there that have really helped make this site. So definitely have not done it alone. Am I going to Gen Con? I have never been to Gen Con, and I'm ashamed to say it, but I've been building my own practice for the last 5 years. So no, it's 6 years now, and so I've been one broke dude paying off student loans. My practice does well, but it's like my doctorate loans are just, like, stupid. They're just so stupid. I was, like, paying $2,000 a month on student loans, and even if you're making, especially, like, economy the way it's been the last 5 years, and the roller coaster that's been, I have not been. I would love to go. If this takes off and I can afford to go, I will. that would be a nice win for me as I pay off my student loans. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Wonderoki. I was like, when Kaibo said that, I was just like, I'm an idiot. I don't know why I didn't even think of that. I don't know why I didn't put a guide. Um, I mean, for skills, fine. I mean, it's nice to be able to click into that if you're just learning the game and know what they do, and can sit there and decide. for taking the time to do that. But attributes, that one's so important. That one's like you don't really know it, especially if you're new. You don't really know what they mean. So the Mirrorscape guys posted about DC20 Forge on their Discord, and there were some nice reactions, but then there was like one guy who was like oh, I don't get that prime stat stuff. Like he like there takes away all the asymmetry, and I just went in to say, I was like, hey man, like, I get what you're saying. It's all about balance. Like you can absolutely play an asymmetrical character you want to play. You can absolutely roll to. That's another thing, Liam. I gotta fix the dice roller. I gotta fix. Again, I haven't touched anything until I get this innate property done. But I'll fix the dice roller, the roll the stats button. It's another thing that's on my list. But he was just going off, and he's like, I gave it a second chance. I took a look at the rules. Not my cup of tea. I was like, bummer. Almost got a convert. Liam is one of the best people that I've seen in the DC20 community. Well, him and Onyx, honestly, how support everyone in the community. Not all heroes wear capes, but those were two heroes. Mine too. They were literally wondering, first two subscribers. First two. Liam was almost first. He got excited for a second because he thought he was first, but Onyx beat him to it. Onyx was the first person. Liam was the second. They both are my highest patrons. They have almost single-handedly been the reason that I have been able to chug out as much as I've been able to chug out as quickly as I've been able to chug out. If it were not for them two, DC20 would not be out right now. Period. Period. I was working fast. I was doing good, but without their financial support, I would never have been able to. Like I pulled a couple all nighters just because I could at that point because I was just on fire, um, and so yeah, I if this thing takes off, I owe it to them. Like both of them with not just financially. Liam spent hours playtesting and having and updating me on bugs. Like I almost which fired me up because I had to keep up with the guy because it was like if I waited too long the list was gonna get too long and I was gonna get too scared to look at it. But and then Onyx was he made the dice roller. I mean, I bounced some ideas back and forth with him, and but he's single handedly saved the dice roller and all the time that it spent. I hope it doesn't sound like I'm minimizing that because I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out how to make the dice roller work, and Onyx did it. A selfish question as last time. I can see he's not here. He's not here. I trust me, Liam. When I have a chance, when I am doing a live stream, is he here? I will make sure he comes on and says hi to you. Yeah. So my wife and I right now are currently splitting time because our the house we bought is under renovation, and so her job is close to her parents' house, and my job is close to my parents' house. So where you saw me last time was a night that I was with her at her parents' house, and sometimes she's here with me. And so we bounce back and forth, but there's a lot of nights that we actually aren't actually together. And the dog's always with her, to be clear, always with her. So he only stays with me when she's like going out to hang out with friends. But technically, she will say it's her dog. But we also know who's in charge and who he listens to when when one of us speaks. Well, I hate to bounce, but hey, do your thing. Do some world building with my players. Yeah, dude, get it. Great live tonight. Love the updates and where you were taking the site. You really amazing work. Yeah, so glad to have you on. Really appreciate it. And if you haven't checked out Wandering Wookiee, you should check out my level 0 YouTube video because if you haven't, I know you said you liked a lot of my videos, but if you haven't seen that one, you should do it before you start this campaign. Just trust me on that. Your thanks means a lot, and I'm glad someone with no talent like me. There, it takes you're lowballing yourself, Liam. You're not giving yourself enough credit because what and talent's overrated. If we're being honest, hard work beats talent every day, um, and I'm a firm believer in that. And your hard work is again a very meaningful significance. And believe me, when if this thing takes off and I can do it, then I plan to repay you, Onyx, as much as I can because you will if this takes off, you will have made my dream come true for sure. It was your birthday yesterday. We are the same month, bud. My birthday's in like 2 weeks, almost exactly 14, 15 days on the 29th. Happy birthday. I know you didn't even get. I feel like I have to give it to you because like Coach didn't get to do it. So I'm gonna say happy birthday for you, and I think Coach. I'm gonna say it for Coach because he would have said it yesterday. We all know he would have said it yesterday. I still don't get how you are number two. When I go to top fans, Onyx is somehow number one. He said one thing. It's whole stream. How is he number one? I don't get it. I don't get how YouTube ranks its fans. Oh really? He's the 29th? That's funny if he is. That is funny. Are you is Aquarius early January? I feel like it's late January. Are you an Aquarius? Not that I'm a big believer in it, but I do have the zodiacs as a big part of my celestial calendar in my game. Not gonna give away any more than that in case you play in the long term one. Number two. I'm number two, and I'm the only one here. That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't get it. I don't get how you're number two. You have more messages than anyone. How does YouTube rank you number two? You know what? It's because it knows Onyx was the first one to support the patron, so he's always just gonna default to number one. Are you going to Gen Con? Where is Gen Con this year? It's like on my top. It's like on my one of the top things I want to do is go to Gen Con. Capricorn. Yeah. See, that's what I thought. Oh, it may be BS in the real world, but not in my game. Not in my game. Just because I like to needlessly affect people's lives in celestial matters. Excuse me. Where is it? February 8th. Okay. Where is it, though? Wait a minute. When is it? Trying to figure out when and where it's even being hosted. But it's there's like it's hard to find. Maybe if I go to e-ticketing. No. When and where is Gen Con, Liam? Do you know? Illinois. Oh, I went to school. I went to grad school for a year in Missouri, right next door. countdown to Gen Con, but it still doesn't say anything about when and where. When and where is Gen? I'm gonna have to just Google it. Housing registration begins February 22nd. Event registration begins May 17th. Gen Con returns July 30th through August 2nd. July 30th through August 2nd, but it still doesn't say where. Indianapolis. Alright, that answers that. May not affect you much because you're married, but if you're in the dating pool, you come to really hate astrology. Well, I will say, as someone who I was like less than, I mean, me and my wife me and my wife met together 3 years, so I'll give you that. I'm not as fresh off the dating pool as one might think, but it kind of still feels like only yesterday. Like I feel like me and my wife have not been together that long, but at the same time, it feels like we've known each other our entire lives. It's a really weird feeling, but I absolutely remember what it was like to date, and I absolutely understand exactly what you mean about astrology. And I will say, if you count the updated, which a lot of people don't, but a lot of people don't count the updated since they factor in another constellation, I am technically a Capricorn under the new dates. And when I read about the Capricorns, it made a lot more sense to me than Aquarius. But that's just me. But I am going to wrap it up because I am tired. And I'm going to probably get back to trying to finish off this stupid innate power button. Because if I can do that tonight, I can get back to work on other stuff tomorrow, which is what I want to do. So I am going to chat with you later. We will reconvene next week for another live chat. Probably Wednesday. I think Wednesday is going to be the safest bets for me in the future because technically I have something I got to work from 6:30 to 8:30 on Wednesdays, and I might as well just do this right after. Someone else is in here, yeah? Who? Who else is in here? I can't see. Mine just says top chat. I mean, I can switch it to live chat, but it doesn't actually show me who's in here. Oh, anyways. All right, night, bud. Talk to you soon. And for anyone who's watching the Q&A from the other end, stay clever, play smarter, and don't hit those like